Alright, so I guess I'm back with my yearly HX Stomp preset video. I've been obsessed with the Heaven or Las Vegas tone quite a bit lately. Looked on YouTube to see if there were any presets for the HX Stomp or any Helix firmware. There wasn't, so I created my own. Unlike my Mk.Gee video that I put out last year with my free preset, I'm actually going to walk through the blocks that I did and my reasoning for it. So if you don't have a multi-effects like the Helix and you want to do this all with analog gear, you've got the building blocks for it. So first I've got this input gate going on. It got a little bit noisy with the preamp stuff here and then the compression later on. You can turn that off if you got a guitar that's a little bit less noisy, but even with my Les Paul, it was getting a little bit noisy. The reasoning for the Les Paul, everything, and I'll put the article down below, but everything I based off of the little blurb that's on Robin's website. He said he used a PRS on this. My closest guitar to a PRS is my Les Paul, so I use that for this tone. We're going to go over this verse snapshot first. So he said he used a Marshall 9000 preamp. There's not a Marshall 9000 preamp in the HX Stomp, and the closest to my ear was this Placator Clean, which is a Friedman, I think the BEOD clean channel. Drive is pretty cranked. It's a clean tone, but even with it being clean, I wanted a little bit of grit to get it to punch through. Treble's almost all the way up. This brights on setting 1, master and channel are cranked. Sags all the way down because I wanted that note to be as articulate and crisp as possible. Then Robin said he threw it into a pitching, probably an Eventide or something. It's on their website. Minus 10 on one side, plus 10 on the other side. Through the mix at 50 and then pan all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Then the tricky part was he said that he uses the dimension C. The only dimension C that's in the HX Stomp or the Helix family is the dimension block that's in the legacy of the modulations. Now, the legacy stuff is not stereo. So what I did was I split my signal, went to the left, went to the right, and the left side is getting modulated by a dimension C with switch number 3 on, and then the right side is getting modulated with the switch on 1 of a different dimension C. I tried a few combinations. That's what sounded best to my ear. Obviously, go through, see what sounds best to you. Both of these mixes are on 40% for snapshot number 1. Then we've got the delay block. He said he used a TC2290, so I used the duck delay. I turned down the ducking all the way to 0, so I'm just getting the regular digital delay sound. The mix is the only one that changes slightly between the presets, and then the other only notable thing is the high cut's pretty high to let through a lot of those higher frequencies. He said he put everything onto tape with a compressor. So I threw a compressor after the delay, and it's pretty high compression. I got my ratio not as high as it can go, but 8-to-1 attack is pretty slow, and then my release is really slow at 1,000 there. And then it's doing quite a bit of level compensation. Obviously, you can mess around with these settings, see what sounds best to you. He didn't say that he was using any reverb on his guitar tone, but you could swear that you could hear reverb on any Cocteau Twins tune. So I threw this dynamic hall at the end, and the mix changes between the snapshots. You can take it off if you want. You can mess around with these settings. This is what sounded best to my ear, though. Now, what's going on with this chorus tone? He said that he went into a bass preamp, the Gallon-Kruger, and this is the one that's in the HX Stomp, so I thought it was probably close-ish. Cranked up that drive, cranked up the boost. Had to turn down the treble a little bit because it was a little bit shrilly, but this did a pretty decent job at the chorus lead tone. and then it's also the basis of the solo tone, which I'll go over in a second. Dual pitch is still on. The mix got bumped from 50 to 70. The dimension Cs went up from 40% to 60%. Delay mix is now at 20. Compressor stayed the same. The mix on the verb went up just a little bit. And then the solo tone. Still on the bass preamp. Bass preamp settings stay exactly the same. The dual pitch is now up to 85%. The dimension Cs are up at 80%. Delay is still at 20. And then the verb got bumped to 40, just to give more of like that stereo wash kind of thing that's going on with this tone. So that's about it. Let me know what you think. If you hated it, let me know. If you loved it, let me know. It's going to be in a Dropbox folder in the description. If I didn't already mention, I'm going to put that article in the description. That's on Robin's website, just so you can take a look at what I was looking at to create this preset. And then obviously feel free to mess around with these settings and then get a sound that sounds best to your ear, but hopefully it's a good building block for you. Thanks for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Bye.